was elected. So if I'm going to be governor, I'll have to look for someone to run alongside. And I chose that person. And we come from a country where the ambition of a deputy is considered an insult. If you're a governor, you just hear that your deputy wants to be the next governor. So many governors it's almost like, how? There are countless examples in Nigeria's very own politics where the governor and the deputy fell out simply because it was suggested that the deputy had an ambition. The same ambition that the governor had that got him to where he eventually got to. He reached deputy turn, the thing turned to abomination. So that's the kind of politics we play. And a lot of times you remember, this is a person this guy was just a university lecturer. I went and selected this person as my running mate. So usually, a lot of times when governor defects, deputy follows because their position, as backed by the Constitution, I want you to understand that, is to be loyal. Because the office exists simply because the principle exists. And the role of that office is clearly defined by the principle. So if the governor says your job is to attend the events and the functions that I cannot attend, as your lordship pleases. So the fact that the governor of Rivers State defected to the APC and the deputy, Professor Ngozi Ordu, followed shouldn't be shocking to anyone. It should be expected. As a matter of fact, what would even make bigger headlines and stir more reactions is if she refuses to defect. That's why you now say, what's going on, Professor Ordu? What's actually happening? And then from nowhere, somebody will say, does she want to be the next governor of Rivers State? Unfortunately, you guys will not give me work on hard facts to discuss what does even require our energies. So congratulations, I guess I should say, to the deputy governor. And even in her statement, she made it quite clear. Right? She didn't say these words, but that's what I got from what I heard. Defecting to the APC is not exactly my position or my decision. I'm just doing it because, my principal did it. Again, she didn't put it like that, but just listen to the first thing she says.
And of course, you know that our leader declared for APC a few weeks ago.
Yep. Oh, deputy, that's so nice to have you in the APC. So why did you finally decide to move?
And of course, you know that our leader declared for APC a few weeks ago, and we're following suit. So we have had zonal meetings. In Onelga, we have 6 zones, and the 6 zones are all fully activated. So I came as a was sensitizing them more. You can see wherever we went, there were a large crowd there to receive us. And they said, wherever I go, they will go.
That's right. So we're following. It's about being loyal. Now, again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, right? And let's not make this seem like it's strictly a Nigerian thing. It's just politics. That's what it is. These alignments are important because why not? Well, we go from there to where things are not exactly in alignment. The faction of the party, that's the PDP in this case, loyal to Tanimu Turaki, has suspended Robinson Ewor. As you may know, Ewor was appointed the chairman of its caretaker committee after the Ibadan convention. His suspension followed his announcement that his faction had collapsed its structure into the Aaron Chukwuemeka-led faction, loyal to the FCT minister. Ewor's suspension was made public in a communique issued after a meeting on Saturday and read by Ogbam Ojima, who is now the acting chairman of the PDP caretaker committee in Rivers State. It's quite an interesting development.
The caretaker committee of the People's Democratic Party Rivers State chapter hereby resolved that we disassociate ourselves from the press statement and public utterances credited to Dr. Name Robinson Ewor, the former chairman. Nyesom Wike has already been expelled from our party and therefore has no right to interfere in the affairs of PDP. That the caretaker committee hereby formally suspend Dr. Name Robinson Ewor as chairman and member of the caretaker committee of PDP Rivers State. Hence, nobody should deal with him accordingly.
My goodness, what could he have possibly done? Statements credited to him. What did he say? Who did he say it to? Who did it affect? You and I will get to find out in a bit, but Ojima said the caretaker committee resolved to appoint him as acting chairman, while Dr. Paul Baribefo Ngo was named acting secretary. He assured party members and the public that the PDP remains committed to repositioning the party under the leadership of Turaki as national chairman.
We remain committed and focused in repositioning our party for competitive electioneering and service to the people under the leadership of Dr. Kabiru Taminu Turaki, SAN, as the national chairman of People's Democratic Party.
All right. That's pretty interesting. Very. Now, Robinson Ewor had announced, and this was obviously his sin, crime, offense, sacrilege, misgiving, undoing. That's something we use in my religion. That word is called iniquity. That's what I was looking for. It dropped right on time. He had announced that the Tanimu Turaki-led leadership of the PDP in Rivers State had collapsed its structure into the Aaron Chukwuemeka-led faction. In other words, he claimed that there was now unity. Now, that faction, which is loyal to the FCT minister, the announcement was made on Friday during the visit of the FCT minister to Ogba, Egbem, and Doni local government area. Ewa, during a media briefing in Port Harcourt on Thursday, accused Governor Similai Fubara of misleading PDP members in the state by claiming that he has the capacity to defeat the FCT minister in the ongoing political contest. Our correspondent, Ifunaya Obemendukwe, reports that Ewor declared that the PDP is no longer factionalized in Rivers State. In other words, Ewor is a man of peace. He wants unity. Why should brothers fight when they can unite? And I guess this was his only crime. In other words, his only crime was love.
Today, I'm handing over that chairmanship, leadership of that faction to Ewor Chukwuemeka. PDP is no longer factionalized in Rivers State. PDP is under one chairman and under one leadership, under the FCT leader.
So that's exactly why Ewor attracted himself a suspension. Wait, was that suspension? Yeah, suspension. That's exactly what he got. Because he decided to love. My goodness. Now, if you follow politics, you know that when things like this happen, reactions immediately trail them. So the immediate past chairman of Obiakpo local government area, Chijoke Ewor, described the realignment of Robinson Ewor to the FCT minister as an act of ingratitude. He was speaking to Nigeria Info. Ewor says the move shows that Ewor had been working with Governor Similai Fubara merely as a decoy. He also pledged his support for the administration of Governor Fubara.
What Honorable Robinson Ewor did there was quite unfortunate and should not be taken serious. You know, in life, people should have confidence in themselves. What I've seen today has shown that Robinson Ewor is a total betrayer. This is a man that appointed you as government council chairman of Capitalism Abi Polytechnic. Governor Fubara has done enough for him. For me, as a former council chairman, I'm a strong ardent supporter of Similai Fubara. Only painted land. I must tell you that they should be patient and be calm. The lives of Robinson Ewor are those who are very desperate for power, desperate to ensure that they get things around the way.
Well, Ewor further appealed to the governor to be cautious of those he rendered assistance to, noting that many individuals are driven by desperation for money.
We will also need to be very cautious of those who are dealing with. If the likes of Robinson Ewor should come out on the national television and abuse the governor of Rivers State, that people do not have conscience. They are very desperate people. A man who has supported, a man who has helped. We can also see that today in Plateau State, a service senator, Ewor, stepped aside for the governor of the state because he's the leader of the party, but the governor is not the leader of the party. So what are we killing ourselves? What are we fighting for? Somebody must help you to clap. If you have somebody to clap, allow the person to be arrested. So I want to assure Rivers people that they should remain calm and continue to support His Excellency the governor of Rivers State. It's only God that gives power. God has given Flora power.
Well, that's neither the beginning nor the end, as a former vice chairman of the PDP in Rivers State, in Rivers West Senatorial District, Sule Amakri, accused Robinson Ewor of always allowing himself to be influenced by money. When you say always, has this happened before, Amakri?
We are no more in the PDP with him again, so he is trying to put up a system where they will call him for settlement. That is just the idea. Somebody who is not stable in his character, a political jobber. The governor is focused, is carrying out his constitutional function as the governor of Rivers State. I don't think that what Ewor is trying to do will stop the governor from being focused. This is 2026. The governor has promised us that he is going to have more speed to his developmental right.
Whatever they call agreement, the question is, what agreement is that? Is that agreement a constitutional agreement? When Ewor, he claimed he was personal chairman then, why did he not ask the governor when the governor came back from that meeting? Why did he not? The governor has made it very clear that look, there is no price I will not pay for peace to reign in River State. The governor has not deceived us. Ewor has been bought over by the other faction, and that is why he is coming up with all this, because we know him for his character when it comes to money matter. So I'm not surprised.
Everybody now claims, oh, they know him. He's always... Then why did you keep him? You've always known. Let me pretend to agree. You know, it's like something gets missing, and eventually, for example, this hypothetical, and I hope you know what that means. We now finally catch the thief. Say, I know, say this guy too, the thief. You know, saying the thief, and they live for this house with you. What's the point of your knowledge if it was never applied before now? Well, there's a whole lot more from where that came. A former state assistant secretary of the PDP in River State, Dr. Bello Kingsley White, says this same Ewor that everybody's talking about lacks the moral ground to speak against Governor Sim Fubara, having benefited from the governor's magnanimity and style of governance. Well, let's hear from him, and then we can hear from you.
Nname Ewor's actions contradicts the principles he once upheld as chairman. It's obvious that he's a treacherous man that has no moral standing to even speak ills of our leader, Sasimilai Fubara JSS ROS, the executive governor of River State. Having benefited from our trust and platform, he now chooses opportunism over integrity. His sudden attack on the governor and the people of River State exposes a complete lack of principle. Though I wish him well in his new political journey.
So I hope that clarifies the confusion. And that is the reason why the faction of the PDP loyal to Tanimu Turaki suspended Ewor. Thanks for listening to my story. I hope you learned a thing or two. Goodbye. Well, we move over to the next headline, and you get to be a part of the conversation. The federal government has withdrawn the criminal charge against Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, senator representing Kogi Central. On Thursday, Senate President Ngozi Akpabio said he had directed his lawyers to withdraw all court cases he instituted against individuals over alleged defamation. In December 2025, Akpabio filed a 200 billion naira defamation suit at the FCT High Court in Abuja against Akpoti-Uduaghan over sexual harassment allegations made against him. Oh my goodness. How magnanimous, how wonderful, how benevolent, how the word will come to me. But this sounds like good news. So thank you. Thank you, federal government. Thank you, Akpabio. Thank you to everyone. We are super excited. Never have we ever been this elated at your gesture, your goodwill, your kindness, your godlike nature. My goodness. What else can we say? I lack the words to express just how beautiful you are. Well, it's time for you to be a part of the conversation. There's one more headline, but I get to hear from you before I get to hear from that. Rivers Deputy Governor Ngozi Ordu joins the APC. Fresh twist in PDP as Turaki faction suspends Robinson Ewor. And the federal government has withdrawn criminal charge against Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. These are the headlines making the big stories. The numbers are called 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06416. Well, live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, at Nigeria Info PH. You can watch, listen, and engage. It's a new year, but some things never change. You still have 60 seconds to express yourself, make all the sense, and within that time frame, please turn off your radio. I'm certain you can. Good day, Mr. Sam Oracle, and Happy New Year to you. River State Deputy Governor joining the APC. This is a nice development since the governor, the Deputy Governor, and many stakeholders in the states are all drumming support for President Bola Tinubu. The faction is allowed in the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. Says, where there is a division in the political party, Owanete Clinton West says. All right, Owanete, thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Sam. The Deputy Governor's primary work is exactly the same as the Vice President, to keep breathing in case the governor stops. Yo, I wouldn't have put it like that, but I mean, I can't argue with. My goodness, that's a very blunt way to put it. Well, some would say it is a political satire, but I said some, not me, so I'm just quoting some. However, politically, like you said, it's a true test of loyalty. On work and school resumption, I heard and read the statement of the ministry. I'm waiting to hear the punitive measure that will be taken out on schools that do not resume today, who in fact informed the parents of their students that they are resuming on the 12th of January. I'm waiting for the government's punitive action. Text from Oyibo. Text, I'm waiting as well. We all are. All right, Clinton from Bori is my first call on Hard Facts this year. Is that about to be a good call? Hello, Clinton.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Clinton. It's better we don't quarrel. Let's respect ourselves. You're my first caller.
As our first caller,
Oh, my, I can't hear you, but please go ahead. Go ahead.
all right. The governor joining the APC is a welcome development. As an APC man, I am very excited that we have a block coming to the APC. We have the River State House Assembly. The speaker is there. We have National Assembly members joining us. We have the governor joining us and the deputy governor joining us. The more the merrier in the political system. But what I will say is that joining the political party, you must add value to the political system. We are here as a family. We are not here to be divided by anybody. So one is in a situation where you're coming in to build the party with us and not cause trouble in the party. So I welcome everybody to join the APC. Then on those casting aspersion on Ewor, saying that he's always taking money, swayed by money. They are trying to tell us that he was previously swayed by money when he was supporting the governor of River State. But I believe that the man came out to speak his mind, and as every Nigerian, we are entitled to our opinion. So they should not be casting aspersion on the young man.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Clinton. Stuck with the time, exactly 1 minute. Mufasa calls from NTA Road. Good afternoon, Mufasa.
Yeah, hi, Sam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity.
It was a pleasure.
Well, Sam, I want to say that the deputy governor joining the governor in the APC is not a new thing. I mean, it's a joint ticket. Even during the election era, they call it a joint ticket. You know, I'm only impressed that the governor has a deputy that is loyal to him, okay, and that's the only way that, they can achieve any desired goal. So for me, I wish her well. I also want to use the opportunity to ask the administration to continue in doing what is right and deliver the dividends of quality leadership to Rivers people. As for Robinson and Ewor, who has, handed over the structure to Ewor Chukwuemeka, Sam, how do you hand over a structure to somebody that never even, recognized that structure in the first instance? For me, it is just a ceremony.
All right.
Chukwuemeka Aaron never, ever, recognized Robinson as holding any structure. Like they say, politics is political.
Okay,
I'm not going
Mufasa.
to cast aspersion on him. He's a full-grown adult and he's at liberty to align whatever course that he chooses to. So, I mean, it's politics. Let us keep our fingers crossed and watch as events unfold.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Mufasa. Wala from Oyibo. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon.
Reacting to the suit against Natasha that has been withdrawn, such is a welcome development. Johnson has been asking, away from the Constitution of Nigeria, as long as institutions is concerned, House of Assembly, organization, this, so that, so there's supposed to be a code of conduct that members of the institutions should work with. People have been asking, away from the Constitution, is there not any code of conduct that the National Assembly members are supposed to be working with? Having suit against this, having suit against that, what does that show to us? Are we ready? If people at the head are not coordinated, then the people at the tail, that is we, How can we be coordinated? I hope the heads supposed to coordinate themselves first. So it is necessary for them to coordinate themselves. Whatever that happen, let us just bury them away from us.
All right, thank you very much, Wala. Well, the truth is, the assembly does have an ethics committee, and I have to say that their handling of the Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan saga made us ask more questions than get answers. Because I had to read about the mandate of the committee, what we're supposed to do, and the further down I went with the realities that played right before our eyes, I had more questions than answers. So, yes, a committee exists. What you want to ask is how functional are they? That I cannot answer because they did not handle this situation well. Braid calls from OGRA. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Yes, withdrawal of criminal charge against Natasha. Well, the Senate President and the federal government withdrawing their matter, I feel that it has undertone. You know, Natasha took them to the International Legislative Council, and Nigeria matters is being discussed over there. So they are trying to play safe. If really they have really withdrawn their matter, you know, Natasha was a Senate Committee of Foreign Affairs. Have they give her back her position? You know, Natasha should be wise. You know, the governor of that state is also high in that seat, and he's working against her, and he's working with the Senate President and the President. So I want to tell Natasha to be wise, and I thought that she should be able to carry a constituency project headlong. She shouldn't be deterred by any of them.
All right.
She should be able to go to the grassroots and ensure that she brings the dividends of democracy. If really the people's vote will be counted, I don't think any of them will be a affair.
All right, thank you very much, Braid. It's a little over a minute. Well, if you do a fact check, there have been some projects initiated by Natasha for her constituents. To the best of our knowledge, some things are on ground, and other things have been developed. Now, for today, we will have the major news at 4 p.m. I'm certain OK stated it earlier, but here is a reminder, and that's for obvious AFCON reasons. So, stay with us. In about 10 minutes, you get the major bulletin. Let's take messages. Well, live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, at NigeriaInfoPH. You can watch, listen, and engage. Thank God Ability Atuebu says, I don't understand the kind of politics politicians are playing this time. APC-led federal government has made politics not to be politics. We used to know politics is no longer attractive. What they are playing now is politics of stomach infrastructure and not politics of the people. I carefully listened to Ewor last 3 weeks on Nigeria Info, how he criticized the FCT minister, but today, the same Ewor is with the same man he criticized 3 weeks ago. Now, wow. Thank God Ability Atuebu says. Greetings, Sam, and Happy New Year to you. Robinson Ewor does not have integrity. People like Ewor are people to be careful of. Can you imagine Ewor? I remember listening to him many times, being interviewed, and the things he said about Aaron Chukwuemeka and Wike. Today, Ewor is speaking a new tune. Surprised, Ima Otaka. Well, Ima, I'm not speaking for or against, but if you believe in the concept of transformation, that's exactly how it works. And because I'm a Christian, it's something I definitely believe in. The idea that a man who once was a sinner can accept the gospel of Jesus Christ and become a transformed soul where he does not sin again and is singing a new tune is something that is a reality. As a matter of fact, it has happened to me. And I became a changed man. Now, if you believe that it can happen spiritually, why can't it happen politically? Somebody shout hallelujah. My goodness. I'm feeling quite lyrically spiritual this new year. But we move. I think even those who suspended Ewor on the ground of integrity are themselves lacking integrity. So they have no moral ground suspending him in the first place. Happy New Year. That's from Hector on WhatsApp. Good afternoon, Oracle. Happy New Year. What's happening in River State for me is a good omen. It's always been said that when the chips are down, the men will be separated from boys. You can imagine the crop of persons in our political space. They should keep jumping up and down. It is not over yet. The deputy governor joining the APC for me is no news. The governor cannot be in a different party while the deputy is in another. Odemegu Sonny Didia from Omerilu says, well, this might not be the best example, but before the Bayelsa deputy governor passed on, that was the case. He had not defected to the best of my knowledge. All right, 1 or 2 calls as we wrap up conversations. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, what's your name?
Thank you. My name is Muriel.
All right, Muriel, you'd have to speak up a bit.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, Sammy, I think let me talk about Natasha before I get to our own people. I think what the federal government and Akpabio are doing for her now should be seen